Yay.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays.
Yes, Hag Sameach to fellow members of the tribe. Hope you lit your first candles last night.
Or forgot, like so
Or
many of
forgot. We
Well,
remembered at the very last second.
to be fair, in the iPhone calendar, it says that
Well, yes, it always says it's today, but
yeah,
Apple doesn't quite understand the Jewish holidays start the night before.
right. So I was like, oh, okay, it's today. And then I'm like, oh.
Well, hopping over to our comments, Vince Lamb is wishing everyone a happy Hanukkah. Thank you. And our friend John Self is in Chicago today being a foodie.
Ooh.
Hey, John, don't eat too much.
Go to 3 Dots and a Dash, my favorite.
Terry M. Blossom checking in from Derek's Corner. Hello, guys. And this looks like this will be my last broadcast of this year because I'm going to be away next week. Carly, do you know if you are going to be on or?
I will be in Disney World for Christmas, so
right.
I don't know. We might have to take a one.
Maybe Matt will do a special holiday broadcast by himself. He will read a Christmas Carol, doing all the different voices himself. Brian is checking in, and he is still processing that Avatar 2 has already made $435 million globally, and near half $500 million. I think the domestic take for the weekend came in slightly below expectations, but the global has been pretty strong. You know, like all of James Cameron's other movies, it's not about the opening weekend; it's what it does for the next 3 weeks or 3 months. Right. I think it does have to hit like $2 billion to break even, though, between production and marketing costs. So, thoughts and prayers. Did you get to see Avatar?
No.
Okay. I saw it. I went out. Well, I can talk a little bit about it when we get to that point in the show. But we've got a few people. Yeah. Okay. Brian says budget of $450 million. That's but that you got to add another $500 million in marketing, I think. All right. Well, I think we are just about ready to go before anyone else bails out. Let us do this thing in 3, 2, and 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 170 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. Carly, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy almost Christmas, and all the other holidays to you. What have you been up to this past week, and what are you going to be doing next week? Because I think this will probably be our last broadcast together for this year.
Sad. It's been really fun. I have just been in a work hole, trying to get
I know the feeling.
done. You know it. I'm sure a lot of people are trying to just wrap up those projects. And then I will be going to Disney World and Universal Orlando this weekend. So I'll be there for for Christmas. So
Christmas at the theme parks. That's awesome.
And I will be doing my new way, which I've been doing for the last year, of just staying at Universal Resorts and then taking a lift when I want to go to Disney World. My AP rate, I told you, I got Endless Summer Dockside, I think. I can't remember which one I booked, for $90 with the AP rate on a holiday weekend. So
that's incredible. You're not going to find that kind of rate on property at Disney. And you know what? I bet you taking a lift, you'll get to the parks quicker than you would taking a Disney bus from All Stars or Pop Century.
No, an All Star was like $400. So if you want some
wow,
I was like,
wow, and I like Endless Summer better. Wow, well, that sounds like a fantastic Christmas.
Yes, and you're doing something sunny.
Yeah, well, this past week I made my last visit to the theme parks for the year. Got to stop by Epcot and experience a little of their Festival of the Holidays. Got to see Neil Patrick Harris
Yes.
do the candlelight processional. So that was definitely a highlight of my theme park holiday season. And I am off to Turks and Caicos.
Yay.
My mom is getting married. She and my stepdad have been together for like a quarter century. So
So
yay,
cool.
finally. Yeah, heading off to celebrate their wedding in the sunshine. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to not writing or thinking about theme parks for a week.
Yeah,
No,
right. That's impossible.
no social media, just beaches and tropical drinks, and that's
Amazing.
what I'm looking forward to.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm wishing all of you out there a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and like I said, I will see you all in the new year. There might be a special bonus episode over Christmas. We'll have to talk to our producer, our publisher Matt, about that. But if nothing else, we will see you back here in the new year for sure. And I think without any further ado, it's time to jump into the news in the queue. All right, our first piece of news, we're heading over to Epcot, where I was just the other night, where DuckTales World Showcase Adventure has finally debuted. It is part of the Play Disney free app that you can download. And for folks who remember the old Kim Possible or Agent P adventures, this should be a hit because this will give you another reason to explore the World Showcase pavilions again.
Yes, this is the third incarnation of this thing that they've had for many years, but unfortunately you don't get a little phone that you can borrow from Disney. You got to do it in your own phone. If anyone remembers the Kim Possible days, you bought a little device.
It was a very technologically advanced little, I don't know if you would even call that thing a smartphone. It was a barely sentient phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like you said, the third incarnation, probably the most technically advanced yet, and it takes place at countries around World Showcase. Each country is kind of its own adventure, so you get to pick from a list which one you want to start with. Choices right now are Mexico, Norway, China, Germany, Japan, France, and the United Kingdom. And each pavilion has 3 assignments that you'll do and then a finale. So if you play this multiple times, you can get slightly different games each time, even if you're in the same country.
If you're playing it 3 times, you're going to need to bring a backup charger because the Play app drains your battery.
It is absolutely a battery killer. So if you've invested in the fuel rods, you're at Disney, you can swap those for free. Be prepared to be doing that. But yes, it will tax your phone a little bit, but you're going to get to see animations with clues on your phone featuring Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby, all your friends from the DuckTales television show. In addition to interacting with your screen, you're also going to interact with buildings and props, things that have been added, hidden away that you probably wouldn't notice if you weren't playing the game, but they come to life. There's fireworks inside the Mexico pavilion, or a jade monkey outside the temple in China that you can activate by playing the game.
Yeah, this sounds kind of fun. I love DuckTales, so maybe I don't use a fuel rod, but I use a little brick. So maybe I'll have to try that this weekend. I know this is really fun for kids to do, and it kind of makes it a well-rounded family activity. You can get your snacks as you're doing it.
And if you're an adult who's drinking your way around the world, this might be more challenging than it is for the kids. So good luck. Yes, good luck. No, I was there the night before it was officially supposed to debut, but you were still able to unlock it in the app the day before. If you had to be on property within Epcot's GPS fence. But I was able to unlock it. I was able to see the menus. Unfortunately, it only runs during certain hours. It stopped being available at 8:15, and I was about 5 minutes too late. So I guess they once it gets close to the nighttime spectacular, they don't want people stumbling around the pavilions while their people are trying to get a view for Harmonious, maybe. So if you want to do this, definitely check it out in the late morning, afternoon, wrap it up in the evening by like 8 o'clock, because at a certain point it becomes unavailable.
Interesting. Well,
Yep.
yeah, I guess we'll have to try it. If anyone's tried it, let us know. It
Yep.
seems fun.
I'm the only thing that makes me sad is that it took so long. Like this was announced quite a while ago, when the
3 years.
DuckTales
Yeah.
the DuckTales reboot was still actually happening when it was announced,
Right.
and by now the show has been canceled. So, I mean, it's still always going to have fans. I mean, I've never seen the reboot, but I'm still a fan from the old
Right.
days.
Mhm.
So I would be interested in playing it. But it's ironic that these things take so long to open that the shows have been canceled by the time it gets in the park.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to play this, by the way, you don't need a Magic Band or a Magic Band Plus. It has nothing to do with that. So there's no cost. All you have to do is download that Play Disney app. Better off downloading that at home before you go. Don't try doing it on Disney's Wi-Fi.
Yes.
All right. So that takes us next over to Disney's Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World, where a new Avatar: The Way of Water projection show has premiered on the Tree of Life.
Yes, this looks really cool. I saw a lot of people post this on social media. Animal Kingdom was like bumping the last couple days with Avatar 2 coming out. So this is going to begin a little bit after sunset. There's holiday inspired projections too. This is cool. Did you go see this?
I did not see it in person. I did watch some video that we posted. This is, they've been doing these kind of projection mapping displays on the Tree of Life for quite a while. I think they first started them way back when Avatar or Pandora, the World of Avatar, first opened at the parks. And they change them up for different holidays or special events. This one looks especially cool. I definitely know a lot of people who have been combining a trip to the theater to see the movie with a trip to the
Yes.
park to ride Flight of Passage. I need to go back and ride Flight of Passage again because I did go to see the movie on opening day, first show. I was, more of a fan of the first movie than a lot of people probably. I even when I believe it or not, when I like built my media room, I made sure we had a 3D projector largely so that I could watch Avatar at home, which I've done multiple times.
I'm sure.
And I liked the new movie, but I did not love it.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot. It's like, but then some people they loved it. I'm just like, it's a very interesting balance.
I know a lot of people made fun of the plot of the first movie because it's Dances with Wolves, it's Fern Gully, which is fine because that's a myth and myths get repeated over and over and over again. In the same way Star Wars is a myth. Well,
Right.
like I felt like in a lot of ways structurally this second movie is very much an Empire Strikes Back. Like, starts off with a big battle where the heroes lose and then they spend a lot of time running around and hiding or training. And at the end there's a big sacrifice and it's kind of got an ambiguous ending leading into a obvious another sequel. We've seen the story before.
Right.
I don't go to an Avatar movie for the plot. I go for the visuals and all the underwater stuff 100% delivered. If the movie was just 90 minutes of underwater footage, I'm there. They could just have like Attenborough narrating it. It could be like a National Geographic thing with space whales, and that I would be great with. I had some problems with the pacing. I felt the 3.5 hours by the end.
Oh, that's
And
so long.
well, I
I
mean, when I say 3.5, that's when you add in like all of the trailers. Like literally, my screening was scheduled for 10 a.m. and I was out at 2 p.m.
oh,
It's just it's a long day.
that's a lot. Can we go back to the 90s when movies were 90 minutes? That
Yeah,
was
I mean,
sweet
I
spot.
I don't mind settling in for a good, I can do 2.5 hours fine. But when you break the 3 hour mark, you better make sure that every moment leading up to that was 100% necessary.
Right.
Um, the my so my last thing about the film I'd say is I think he finally fixed the uncanny valley in terms of character faces and rendering and skin and water. The technology of the CGI of all of that was perfect, and I think the motion capture, I totally bought into the characters.
Mhm.
I didn't realize which character was Kate Winslet until I saw the credits at the end, but I
Wow.
totally bought into her character even if I cannot remember her character's name.
No. Well, you have to see
What
it again then.
what ruined what stepped right back into the uncanny valley for me though was the high frame rate. In certain theaters, especially in IMAX, it's using a high frame rate where it's double the normal frame rate, and some scenes and some images are high frame rate, but some are standard frame rate, and my brain just started freaking out. Like
Right.
all I could see was, is this one high frame rate? Is this not? And
That's
I
not good. Yeah.
never the only time when it's just underwater and it's all high frame rate underwater, it's beautiful because it's like looking into an aquarium. And I think it's technology that's great for a theme park attraction when you want to make something look like you're just looking through a window.
Mhm.
But in a narrative where you have editing and pulling focus and uh, it didn't work for me on the Hobbit films. I wanted it to work here, but it was like you'd have a character look like they're a stop motion standing against a background from an Xbox video game, and it just did
Ooh.
not. I want to see it again without the high frame rate.
Mhm. That just takes you out of it, especially if it's 3 hours.
Exactly. But that was the thing. I just wanted to be immersed in the story, and every time that I was just getting immersed in the story or the visuals, I was pulled out of it by the technology. Um,
Not good.
so, but I'm sure I will see it again. I have no doubt. And hopefully, they've already got in um, all along in the Flight of Passage ride, they've always had these space whales that are very prominently featured.
Ooh,
So we
pretty
didn't know
scary.
all along that the ride was a preview of the second film.
Right.
If you are even more into Pandora than I am, obviously, we've got all sorts of stuff on our website. We did a review of Kellogg's Pandora Frosted Flakes cereal with a sweet blueberry flavor.
Ooh.
We've got some pictures of limited offerings happening in some of the parks, including Tokyo Disney Seas. We've got an interview with Paul Fromer, who created the Navi language. He did not create the Pandora font, though.
No.
Um, um, that was Papyrus. And there is currently no specific end date to the projection show. So, like if it's anything like Titanic or the first Avatar, the film will continue to run in theaters for quite a while, and I'm sure Disney will keep this running for a little bit as long as it is still popular.
Oh yeah, I love the idea of going to the movies, then going to the park, and really just doing like a whole immersive day. If you're into
Yeah.
it, it'd be really
Yeah, I
fun.
recommend if you're going to do that, you might want to buy yourself a lightning lane because by the time either that or you're going to have to do
Start.
like, a rope drop
Right.
of Flight of Passage, because it might be possible on peak days to watch the entire 3+ hour film while waiting in line for Flight of Passage, and maybe still have some time left over.
Very possible.
Yeah, I don't want to test that, but you'll be there for Christmas, so you can test that.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, we are going to move on next over to Hollywood Studios, where the Roundup Rodeo BBQ is still coming to Toy Story Land, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. The restaurant that was originally supposed to open in 2022 will now not be opening until spring of 2023.
Yeah, this is another project that feels like a very, very, very long time coming. Hopefully it'll be worth it because it does sound really cool. It'll be nice to have another table service option because we know that Hollywood Studios needs that.
Hollywood Studios, trying to get table service at Hollywood Studios, between Sci-Fi and the 50s Diner, they're always booked up. And Hollywood Brown Derby is a little out of a lot of people's price range. It's not very kid friendly. So this is very much needed. And for those of you who always wanted to dine surrounded by lots and lots of cardboard cutouts with stickers and crayon, which is exactly the kind of in-depth, detailed, dimensional theming that we all go to Disney for.
Yes.
slash S sarcasm.
I have hopes for this because we have seen how they have done barbecue recently.
Yes.
Little Eagle, and that is amazing with so much care, sauces. It's authentic.
Yes.
So,
I have some hopes for the food. And it's going to be served family style. So you're going to be getting big platters of smoked meats, a roundup of sides, and miniature sweet surprises. So that almost makes me think that you're not going to be ordering a la carte, that it might be more like a Liberty Tree Tavern type situation where you're like, getting a big platter to share for the table.
No, I'm down for this. I love those kind of options. And I have to mention, many years ago, there was a Disney cafe at Harrods in London. Did you ever go there?
I have not been to Harrods in London. No,
I didn't eat there. I just walked there. It looked just like this. I have to find the picture and show you. It's like bizarre how much it
interesting.
Well,
maybe they salvaged some parts.
Yeah.
I joke about the dimensional. There is some actual physical props. There's a cute train set, the oversized barrel of monkeys. Those guys always have to be around. But it is a lot of flat decorations on the walls.
It looks like the Mania queue,
Yeah, it absolutely looks like you're dining inside a queue. For me, if we're talking about restaurants that shrink you down, I will still always stand for the Ratatouille restaurant over in Paris.
Oh yeah,
that's where you get to sit on the little wine bottle corks, and everything is giant dimensional props. That's the best. I guess that was too much to expect from here,
probably.
But hopefully at least the barbecue will be good. We will all find out sometime in the spring. Spring is flexible. Spring is three months. Maybe in Disney's terms, spring can go 4 months.
It could. And then again, with Fantasmic being back, they need more dining options.
Absolutely. Yes.
All day, and
so they're keeping people in the parks until closing. Then they need definitely more dining options. So I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Same.
Brian had the $1 million question. Will it open before Tron?
Maybe.
The gates of hell may open before Tron at this rate. Oy.
Oy.
Okay, let's head out of Disney's parks over to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, where they have announced a new racing coaster, as well as an expansion to their water park, and other goodies coming in 2023. This is going to be the world's first single-rail family racing coaster, and it's kind of an interesting-looking spaghetti bowl of track.
Yes, I love that they call it this. This is literally what they call it because it looks like a mess of spaghetti. I went on my first single rail coaster this year at California's Great America, and
Which one was that?
God, I can't remember what it's called, but it's just you. It was really cool. So I saw this and I was like, oh God, now I want to go here. They're really doing a lot.
So this one is from Skyline, and I've seen models similar to this on display at IAPA, but I haven't gotten a chance to ride it myself. This one's kind of unique because it's two tracks that drive around each other. And it's different from typical roller coasters in that there's no welds in the track, there's no ties or anything. It's just like a continuous ribbon of steel, and there's no chain. It just moves you along with a tire. So it's got kind of a low profile. It's very compact, but those single rails really let you make really tight turns. So it should be pretty snappy.
I like that you said a ribbon of steel because that's a really good way to, describe it. It literally looks like a bowl of spaghetti, a ribbon that just kind of seamlessly goes about.
Yep. They are also expanding their water park with a number of new slides. They haven't released all the details, but there's going to be a kids area with 11 new slides and raft rides. One of the new additions is going to be a kid version of some of their big grown-up slides. Some of the Tornado Wave, the Tornado 12, and the Pro Racer. They're going to have scaled-down versions that kids are able to ride.
No, I love that they're doing that. It kind of reminds me a lot of like Legoland in Florida, how their coasters are just like little compact scaled versions. It's a good little entryway to dip your kids' toes in the pool of possibility of theme park attractions.
Yeah. Some of the other additions around the park are a new roller coaster coffee bar, an esports gaming center, and a Coca-Cola VIP lounge for Diamond Pass holders and others who want to pay a fee to have a place to chill out. And they're also doing some refurbishments, including getting new trains already for Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. Hopefully that will make that operate a little more consistently. And they're adding a third train for their Iron Rattler. So hopefully it will make some of their classic rides a little more reliable and give them a little more throughput.
Oh, absolutely. And if you can handle the hot Texas summers, you might want to hit the water park in the afternoons or cool down, but they open next season, April 29th.
Yes. The theme parks open year round, but April 29th through September 4th for that water park. And if you want more information, go to sixflags.com/Fiesta Texas. All right, we're going to head over to the West Coast, where the Walt Disney Company is not the only big media company celebrating a centenary. Oh boy,
That's a lot.
Yeah, celebrating their 100th anniversary. Yes, Warner Brothers also celebrates their 100th anniversary in 2023, and they are commemorating it with a company-wide campaign called Celebrating Every Story, kicking off soon with a new documentary, lots of media releases, and other experiences.
Yes, this makes me, I want to go back and do the tour since they updated it. So I think maybe now is a good time to go check that out. I know a lot of people have been loving it and giving good feedback to it.
Yeah. So start out, get yourself excited. Warner Brothers has released this little 5-minute video clip, narrated by Morgan Freeman, God himself, highlighting some of Warner Brothers' most beloved productions over the last 100 years. And if this seems eerily familiar, Universal did this for their 100th anniversary. Mike Aiello directed the show for Universal's Lagoon, with Morgan Freeman basically doing the same shtick back in 2012.
Right. I mean, it's his thing.
Who else are you gonna get? Come on, there's no one better than Morgan. If you want to celebrate,
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
if you want to
cool.
celebrate from your couch at home. Uh, Apparently, it's a 3-part documentary on HBO Max, assuming HBO Max still exists by the time we get to 2023. And and they're also going to have uh, Extra, which is interviews and archives from behind the scenes. Turner Classic Movies is going to be showing more iconic Warner Brothers films. And if you are still collecting Blu-ray and DVD releases, they are releasing a 100-film collection, also 4 25-film collections, and a whole lot of best of sets. So you can definitely fill up a shelf with Warner Brothers history.
And you could just hibernate all next year and just watch all of this.
So if you want to celebrate Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary in person, there are going to be lots of opportunities. There's a Candlelight concert series that is making 100 stops around the world with a special Warner Brothers themed show. You can find more about that at candlelightexperience.com. The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles and the Smithsonian National Museum of American History are both doing screenings. And what I recommend is check out the Warner Brothers Studio Tour in Hollywood, which is going to be adding a special exhibit on the company's history for 2023.
Ooh, I'm excited about that. They haven't released a ton of details on it, but I'm expecting some cool maybe props, costumes, something. I mean, because their portfolio is expansive, as we all
Yeah.
know.
Brian's advice in the comments is he just did the Warner Brothers tour last year in October and says it's so good, but there's no butterbeer. Yeah,
No.
that's one. They've got Universal Hollywood just up the street, so
Right, 5
can't
minutes
sell
away.
some butterbeer. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to go to the Warner Brothers tour in London if you want butterbeer. But if you want more information about this whole celebration kicking off soon, go to wb100.com. And before we get into our final bit of news, the main attraction, it is now time for us to hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
Okay, for our main attraction, we finally have an opening date for Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. Get ready for February 17th, 2023, because that's the day that the Warp Pipe officially opens, and you will get to ride the Mario Kart ride here in the United States.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've spent a lot of time there, and it's so fun to go down the crazy escalator and just like watch the progress. And it has been so rapid. I mean, I'm really impressed. Like I know that we knew this was around the time, but it's just crazy that they built a whole land. And again, it's not massive. It's not as big as the original location, but this is really exciting for one of my favorite theme parks.
Yeah, it's they had just gone vertical the last time I was out there, and it's been so exciting watching it go up from afar. And February 17th is the day that it will officially open. It is going to open up featuring the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge ride, which is it's a slow-moving dark ride, but it simulates speed by using augmented reality glasses that project 3D computer images in front of you that you can shoot at. To kind of recreate the Mario Kart games in a family-friendly form. There's also going to be a Toadstool Cafe. There's shopping at One Up Factory retail store. There's all sorts of interactive games that you can play using a power-up band. But there is not going to be a Donkey Kong roller coaster like we're going to have in Orlando, and there is not going to be a Yoshi dark ride like they have in Japan.
Right. I mean, this is solely just a room thing. There is no space. If you've done the studio
It's
transfer recently,
very cramped. Yeah.
you literally have like a really good front eye view of the construction because it goes literally right behind it. They don't have the room. So you know what? I'm going to take what I can get here because this will be excellent. They've already been previewing the merch for like a year.
Yep.
It looks amazing. So I'm expecting even more great stuff. They already set up a pop-up food kiosk to start selling, and I am impressed because we have a lot to live up to with what we have seen over in Japan because their food is amazing. And
it's funny that you mention that because our sister story, they in Japan they have had the most kawaii food for Super Nintendo World. Everything is super photogenic and also sounds like it tastes pretty good too, which is unusual. Oftentimes here in the States we get stuff that's made for Instagram and not eating.
Right.
But we are getting our first preview of what kind of food we're going to get in Hollywood, and it looks pretty delicious. A pop-up, like you said, snack stand has opened up in the lower lot at Universal Studios Hollywood, and the signature item that they're serving is fruity cream soda, available in 3 flavors. There's Princess Peach's Peach, Mario Strawberry, and Luigi's Green Apple, and they all include vanilla ice cream, popping boba balls, cherries, and these adorable straws with character toppers on them.
Yes, no, I love it. This is like this is giving me that promise that I expected. I think they're gonna nail it with everything, and then also these superstar popcorn buckets.
Oh yes, so we are seeing the invasion of the popcorn bucket. For years, popcorn buckets were kind of the domain of Disney. They were the ones who got people to line up for Figment buckets. Well, I think people are going to be going crazy for the Mario drink cups and popcorn buckets, sippers. They start at $20, and the big superstar popcorn buckets are $40. I think people are going to be collecting these for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not really a popcorn person, but I use them as purses sometimes in the park. So it's another good option to use the popcorn bucket. And then continuing on. So we mentioned the opening official date, but there is, of course, going to be a ton of previews, most importantly for annual pass holders.
Yes, here's my dilemma. So they are having annual pass holder previews starting January 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then again in February on the 3rd, 4th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. But you've got to have a pass and make a reservation in advance if you want to participate. And those are going to open up on January 5th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. First come, first served. Those are going to go quick. Do I buy an annual pass just in hopes of getting in on a pass holder preview?
So I have an annual pass and I'm in the USH Facebook group. And a few people have said that if you plan on purchasing it, you have to physically
activate it
and activate it in order to sign up for this preview. So just a word out there. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy a pass to get in this." Just make sure that you physically activate it before January 5th.
Well, I might have to just hope for a media invite for the 17th, or there's so much stuff we've got in California. We've got end of January. We've got Runaway Railway and all the spectaculars at Disneyland. We've got this happening on February 17th. We've got March 8th, the reopening of Toontown.
Right.
So it looks like the last 2 weeks of February, first week of March is going to be a crazy time.
Yes.
I think I'm going to have to take a trip out there, and it's going to be overwhelming, I think.
Oh, and Boysenberry Festival, I believe.
Oh my gosh, and Boysenberry Festival.
First week, second week.
I almost kind of want to push all this back as late as I can, go maybe late March, and wait for it all to be open for a couple weeks or months or years.
My thought process on this is USH hasn't always been the most technological advance. So like we literally just got our passes, our annual passes being able to link to the app. So I am hesitant with, there's so much technology. This is like big for them. This is a big leap. So I'm almost
I do know that the
Nope.
Mario ride, they've had that up and running and testing for quite a while. So I think the Mario ride, they're going to try to beat all the bugs out of that.
Right.
What I'm more concerned about is crowd flow in and out. You know, there's just this one narrow warp pipe being used as an entry.
And it's really
And
a 360 circle once
yeah,
you're in
yeah,
there, you
yeah.
know?
Now it's interesting. It looks very small, but if you overlay it using like Google Maps, it's about the same amount of walkable space as Avengers Campus over in California Adventure. Um, but you know, they have said that they're going to use a reservation system. Now, it's not going to be an advanced reservation system. It's going to be a same day reservation system, kind of like a timed return ticket, similar to what they used very briefly at Harry Potter. So basically, once the land fills up right after rope drop, which I'm sure is going to happen pretty quickly,
Right.
they are going to close off the entry and they are going to activate kiosks down on the lower lot, as well as a feature in the app. And so you're going to be able to go in kind of like the virtual line system that they've used for rides and get a return time to come back. And then once you get the return time and get into the land, then you will have a standby wait for Mario Kart. But it looks like if you have Universal Express, you will not have to use the reservation system. It looks like people with Universal Express will get instant access to the land. So that will definitely make Universal Express a lot more valuable there.
Oh yeah. So I'm curious if they're going to, which probably increase the annual pass prices. They haven't yet, but the top tier does include Express. So I am super curious how that's going to work out because the passes now are like the cheapest pass that I own. It's amazing. I don't know if that's going to be the case for next year. So
Yeah.
you want to purchase it even if you don't activate it.
Oh, that is true. That is
Right.
true. Yeah, I could always hold on to it. Well, we will see. A lot of this is still up in the air. I'm, you know, hearing some conflicting things about some stuff, but it is all coming. It's all coming very soon, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
And it's definitely making me even more excited for Epic Universe because when that opens, it will be the ultimate version of Super Mario Land. We've posted lots of videos on our YouTube channel covering everything from the rides to those power-up bands that you'll be able to use. They have said that the power-up bands are not mandatory. There are ways to participate with some of the interactive things without them, but you won't be able to track your score. And most importantly, you won't be able to join the Bowser Jr. There's a special climactic game that takes place in a special area. You'll
Yeah.
only be able to use that if you have purchased a Magic Band and have scored certain points with it.
Right. And I think you can also do like a group challenge if you guys all have power up bands. So you guys can kind of battle each other, you know, like a video game. Yeah, you want to do the key challenge, you're gonna have to get that. I mean, this is like a no-brainer for me. I'm definitely want to try it.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure. I'm sure I will be making much more use of that than I do my Magic Band Plus. Every time I go to Disney now, I have to remind myself to take the Magic Band Plus because
I still haven't taken mine out of the box.
So I did like I noticed for the first time that when if you're wearing it and you exit the Ratatouille ride, it glows as you're in the exit corridor. It turns the colors of the France's flag, turns red, white, and blue. And
I'll probably forget it.
I liked that. I liked that. Well, we've got tons more on our YouTube.
Yeah,
If
there's
you
a lot.
want,
They announced so much last week,
yeah,
like so many details. So you're gonna want to
but
check it out.
if you want to be there for the grand opening, you know, I'm sure hotels around Hollywood, Universal Hollywood, are booking up already. So February 17th, mark your calendar. Or maybe like me, plan for a little later, a little later in March, maybe.
It's not a bad thing.
All right. Well, that just about brings us to the end of yet another show.
Yay.
Before we go, we want to thank our sponsors, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, once again. I want to remind everyone, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating on Spotify. Carly, where can everyone find you on the interwebs?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly and on Twitter at Carly Caramana.
And you can find me at the UG series on Twitter, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and at theunofficialguides.com, where you can pick up the 2023 editions of my books just in time for Christmas presents.
Yay, great idea.
And most importantly, you can find everyone from the attractions crew here for you on Christmas, on Hanukkah, on New Year's, 365 days a year at attractionsmagazine.com, at Attractions on Twitter, at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, at youtube.com/Attractions Magazine, and at Attractions on TikTok. And until next week or until next year, I hope that you folks stay safe, try something new, and most importantly, have fun. And we will see you again very soon.
Happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas,
everyone.
happy holidays to everyone. Be well. Bye.